The 10th to the 12th of August 2018 was the 46th running of the AVD Old Timer Grand Prix at the legendary Nurburgring Grand Prix track in southern Germany. It was also the first official public showing of a completed V8 Stealth Beetle, a left-hand drive Audi 4.2 litre twin-turbo power plant with BRM knockoff wheels finished in the classic Gulf oil livery. And the interest was immense. At times it was hard to even see the car through the crowds gathered round her. But more of that and a look at some of the racing that took place shortly. Let's back up a couple of months and start, like all good stories, at the beginning. We left episode 16 showing you the first finished V8 Stealth Beetle, our right-hand drive development vehicle all ready for dyno and track testing. But there was urgency in the workshop as Jean and Pierre were racing frantically against the clock to get the Gulf Oil left-hand drive car finished. Many long days and late nights and just a little bit of stress was, I think you'll agree, all worth it. She looks amazing. And then into a container and shipped off to Germany. A few weeks later, Jean, Pierre and myself followed. We flew out to Frankfurt, where we were met by the German and European distributor Prix and all-round good guy René. The vehicle had arrived and cleared customs just days before and had already spent some time up in Magdeburg at the TÜV Center, where the engineer who scrutinized her said it was one of the best hand-built cars he'd ever seen. 2 more visits and we'll see Our Lady pass through the toughest road legal regime in the world. Meanwhile, at René's workshop, we had a few small bits and pieces to attend to. And then it was back on the trailer and a 2-hour road trip to get to the Nurburgring circuit. When we arrived early on Friday morning, race practice was already in full swing. We were booked into the prestigious Dorint Hotel, still the only hotel that's allowed to have trackside rooms. After offloading, we had to get set up in the paddock area, which was going to be the car's home for the next 3 days. And for that, we must say a huge thank you to Dieter and his family team at ChemTools. And yes, that Shelby Cobra is his pride and joy. ChemTools offer a comprehensive, top-class range of cleaning products. The finest automotive care. Throughout the weekend, Chris, Jean and Pierre were very busy chatting to potential buyers. This is just the first of 100 made-to-purchase specification factory V8 Stealth Beetles. So, if you're keen or you know of anyone who might be keen to join our V8 Stealth Beetle family, get in touch. Prices and specifications are on our website.
Today we are at Nurburgring at last. We are standing in the paddock at Nurburgring, which is where all the race cars are standing and a lot of the big manufacturers are displaying here. The interest on the V8 Stealth Beetle has obviously been absolutely incredible. I think the fun has been to watch the people when they walk past, because your average person sees a Beetle and keeps walking, but the engine lid is open. People walk past and then they do like a U-turn. They come back, look at the engine. Once they've looked at the engine, they start looking at the rest of the car. And slowly you see the smiles on their faces. You even see the guys grabbing their girlfriends or their wives and saying, "Come, you've got to see this." So many people are more excited about what they're seeing than just it's another car. They just can't believe that it's been done. So for us, it's been incredible just to be here, to feel the energy, and just to watch the people. Absolutely incredible. The Classic Grand Prix, which is this weekend, happens once a year. This is the 46th running of the Classic Grand Prix. So it's all pre-61 racing cars. Different categories, obviously, but all these ladies here today are, 40, 50, 58, 60 years old. And you're going to see some amazing cars with workmanship that was still the good old days when man and machine was one, not where today most of the cars are built by computers and automation. These days they were still built by hand. The other thing that's quite amazing about the Classic Grand Prix is that obviously some of these cars, there were only 2 or 3 built of a particular model. Sometimes they never even made a dozen of the cars. So these cars have got exceptional value, up to a few million euro, some of the cars. But the drivers, the guys behind the steering wheel, they don't care about that. They still go hell for leather. They still push the car to the ultimate limits. And you will see that the cars are sliding through the chicanes. The guys are pushing to the limit, even though he's driving something that could probably never be replaced.
While we had a wander around the paddock and ogled one beautiful car after another, Stephanie from Chemtools spent some time making Our Lady shine. Thanks, Stephanie. As well as hundreds of old-timers racing their hearts out on the Grand Prix track during the weekend, there were a few other race categories present, out there stretching their legs. Lots of Ferraris and my personal favourite, the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup. This category of single-make racing is the most successful in the world. Drivers must drive identical 4-litre 485 horsepower cars, all purchased ready to race from Porsche. It's all down to nerve and driving skill, and as you can see, these young drivers certainly have plenty of that.
So we're in Germany, and guess what? There's 1 or 2 Porsches here. I think maybe about 500 behind me. The Porsche Club is here today, obviously in full force. And there are some absolutely amazing Porsches here.
Porsche is having a big year this year. They're celebrating 70 years of Porsche sports cars. And not to be outdone, of course, the Ferrari, Maserati and Alfa owners also turned up en masse. It certainly was a busy weekend for our V8 Stealth Beetle. We even managed to get in a quick photo shoot.
We are here at Nurburgring, obviously to display the V8 Stealth Beetle, but to be quite honest, the reason we're here is for racing. The sound, the smell, just the incredible scenery, and of course the beauty of all these cars. It's all about racing, end of the day. It's in our blood, it's what we enjoy, it's what we love.
Amateure an Chemie, den wir gerade im hellblauen Porsche
The track was busy all weekend, with racing from 8 o'clock in the morning right through to sunset. There were many beautiful cars in the paddock and on the track, dating back to the 1930s, and even, as you've seen, a bunch of old Formula One cars. But possibly the highlight of the racing weekend was the evening endurance races that saw the cars and drivers start at dusk and then drive off into the night. And so, with that and the obligatory firework display, we must say cheerio to the Oldtimer Grand Prix for 2018. A great time was had by all, not least by Jean, who managed to tick off something from his bucket list. A lap of the world-famous Nordschleife circuit, 22.5 kilometers and 73 corners, which he did in a car that he built, his old CAV GTR, a racing version of the famous GT40. And yes, that colour scheme, it's the same as our first V8 Stealth Beetle. Funny that. We hope you enjoyed our visit to Germany. Episode 18 is planned and it's just around the corner. And in it, we'll take a close look at the V8 Stealth Beetle in component form. An option for anyone who'd like to build their own vehicle. That's definitely going to be a lot of fun. We'll see you soon.